Documentation for us has changed over time. It's definitely something that has grown because of our thinking and learning, and also our own research. Through Reggio and through Caroline Ween, we were able to do a lot of wonderful work with her on pedagogical documentation and documentation in general. So at the beginning, there was a lot of work around pictures. What do we write? How much do we write? What's important to write? And over time, it grew from maybe we would start with maybe a picture and then our comments and retelling the story. And so we've grown past the retell, because the retell is important, but it's also about what do we learn as educators about it? What has the children learned about it? What is the bigger picture? What is really going on here? What are we thinking about? And as educators, when you're looking at pedagogical documentation, it has to be about what are we learning as educators too? What does it really mean, right? So this is a good example right here of over time the bird's nest was something that came into the classroom, and it was interesting because we had an egg in the bird's nest, and it was a big conversation about whether the egg was real or not. And then for 2 weeks, they looked at the eggs, they observed the egg, and so this is kind of like their comments about if they thought the egg was real, and talking about their theories and why they thought it was real, and proving their theories and all that kind of thing. But then when we moved, as I was observing them, we put a little bird that is obviously not real, but the children all came in so excited because the bird was there, and all of them were like, oh, it's fake, it's not real, it's real. And it kind of gave them this conversation about fake and real again. And and they all had their theories on why. It was moving. And this little girl says, and I wrote it down, and it was just touching because she's a very little shy. She doesn't say much. You have to really listen to her talk because she talks so quietly. And she just said, the bird is real. It isn't moving because he's shy like me. And it was just this connection that she made with it that, I'm gonna cry. I can't believe I'm gonna cry. But it was this really deep connection and so it was that pedagogical learning for me. It was like how important this little bird was to her to make that connection. And so my thinking on it, and this is where Lynn and I talk, and we talk about it, but I wrote something about it, just about how she was communicating her ideas and her thoughts and how she felt because of the bird. So it says, Haley is communicating to us a deeper understanding of what the little bird represents to her. There's a reciprocity with the tiny bird that conveys the truth for Haley about herself. So to me, that was so powerful, because although it's one comment and you could miss it, to me, that told me so much about her. It told me so much about how important it is to just listen and be there, be present with them, and also how much kids communicate through not just language, but through feelings. And that is important. And in Reggio, we talk about the 100 languages of children, and emotion is one of those languages that they have to really, that you have to be part of, right? You have to be there to really feel that emotion with them.